Hey, it's Mike. Just after this episode was recorded, the Internal Revenue Service in the United States announced that they were going to issue an immediate moratorium on the processing of claims for the employee retention credit, as we discussed during the show. This was for any claims that was filed on or after September 14th, 2023, and this will last until the end of 2023. The announcement comes as the Internal Revenue Services ramps up enforcement action and prepares to launch a settlement offer that would allow taxpayers to withdraw or repay improper claims. As with anything that's on my show, I bring on guests that I vet, and I still feel that the organization that I interviewed, who's been around a very long time, was following and is following guidelines that are provided by the IRS, and the IRS changed things because they saw a pretty significant increase in fraudulent claims by other startup organizations that just decided to make a quick buck. That's from my observation and my opinion. Take whatever advice you want, but I do highly recommend that you work with a vetted tax organization. But I still feel that Bill's team is one of those, but do your own due diligence. I just provide opinion, not advice on this show, but I really appreciate your time, and I highly encourage that you listen to the rest of the episode because it'll give you some insights as to how things work and how it'll work once the Internal Revenue Service returns to business. So enjoy the show, and thank you for being an active listener.
Welcome to the Breakfast Leadership Show, where we interview global thought leaders on business, leadership, and life. Here's your host, keynote speaker, best-selling author, and chief burnout officer of the Breakfast Leadership Network, Michael Levitt.
Welcome back. I've got a great colleague on the line. Bill, how are you doing, buddy?
Very good. Thank you.
Great to have you. And we've had several conversations, and we met on Alignable a while ago. And people that don't know about Alignable, you need to. That's a shameless plug. I'm not getting any advertise or anything from them, but it's a great platform to work with local businesses and really collaborate with people. But, Bill and I have been talking quite a bit, and we're going to dive into some tax talk and some other things too. So why don't you share a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into the conversation.
Sure. About a year ago, a friend of mine told me about the employee retention credit. And I go, what the heck is that? And they go, well, the government has set aside about $400 billion for small to medium businesses. So if you had between 300 and 500 W-2 employees, you would probably qualify. And it's to help offset all the costs involved that you had to endure during COVID. So like out here in California, they essentially shut down like all the restaurants. And certain states it was different, like Texas, it was pretty normal, like Florida was normal. But out here in California and a lot of states, a lot of businesses were like affected. And so the banks had come up with the PPP loans, and it got pretty crazy. And it was the banks made a percentage off of that. And so the small to medium businesses never really got involved with it as much. And so they set aside $400 billion to help people. So if you had between 300 and 500 like W-2 employees, and there were rules that you had to have a revenue drop of like 10%. Well, now there's about 9, 10 like different qualifications now, where I'd say about 80% of businesses now like qualify. And that's why you're seeing on TV all these crazy pop-up firms that really don't understand the tax laws. And so we have actual tax attorneys on our payroll. We have former IRS tax experts. We're actually 230 certified, which means that the IRS has come out and they've certified us as tax credit experts. And we do errors and omission, audit. protection free. We do advanced funding. So it takes between 4 and 9 months for the IRS to issue these checks. And it has to do with 7 quarters in 2021. And you can get up to $26,000 per employee. So I believe that in real life, story. So like an associate of mine had a business, and he got an estimate from his CPA for an ERC, and it was $1.2 million. So what he did was he contacted a bunch of ERC firms. I think he contacted about 12, and he ended up coming to ERCTREE because they had the most. And it was $2.4 million. This accountant had missed out at $1.3 million because they forgot about the group health. They hadn't dug in deep and gotten the true amount. And so you'll see a lot of pop-up firms, TV guides, ads. We're going to be here a long time. We have other products that we do. We do like R&D, like tax credits. We do various loans. We do, we do a lot of stuff. And so I'd be careful of these like pop-up firms that you see on TV. And there's a firm out of Florida that's processed about $6 billion in refunds. Well, about 50% of those have been kicked back because the paperwork was wrong. So you got to do your due diligence. We don't advertise. People come to us. It's word of mouth. We're known as one of the top firms like in the country, but we stay below the radar.
Well, it's really important. Like you said before, you've got tax experts, you've got former IRS auditors and professionals on the team that intrinsically understand the tax law. They completely understand this ruling that can qualify up to $26,000 in tax credits per W-2 employee during the pandemic years. And for those small to mid-sized organizations that lost quite a business, like you said, in California, and there's other states as well, that there were a lot of businesses that just basically had to either scale back to maybe 10% of what they were doing, or maybe didn't even stay open for a while, and now they're digging out of it. And I know a mechanic. Now this is in Canada, so it's a different ball game there. But they took out basically assistance loans basically from the government to help them deal with things, but they got to pay those loans back. And they would be thrilled to be able to have a system like this to be able to get that money back, because you get a boost of $1 million or $2 million based on a fairly small size organization, quite frankly. And what happens is that could mean the difference between your business staying afloat or your business, not going to be able to continue.
In fact, I have a great story about that. So I just closed a restaurant here near San Diego, and the husband had died, and the wife had taken it over, and there was enormous debt. And I got her $350,000. When she found out, she started crying, and she hugged me, and she said, "You saved my family, you saved my life, you saved my workers, and I want to thank you." And this is not a loan, guys. This is money that you get back from the government. So it's not like a loan. You're not tied to it. And the cool thing, I live in San Diego, and I'm sure that everybody out there has seen all the prices go up at the grocery store. Gas prices have gone up. Businesses are hurting. People are hurting out there. And this is a way that you can get money at no cost that you never even knew about. And so, we have an affiliate program as well, where you can go out to your network and you can make significant money as well. So it's not only for your business, but in fact, my friend started out as a client, and now all he does is just ERC stuff. ERCTREE is actually the indoor company, and it's kind of modeled after what's the name of that loan company? But we give multiple quotes so you can compare them. And so I actually just did a one for a friend of mine that I knew in college, and we came in at $89,000. Okay. His big CPA firm that's national, that has a tax credit like division, came in at $80,000. We made him $9,000 more, apples to apples, because we know exactly what we're doing. And I could come up with more stories and more stories and more stories. And so this is a way to help you. So like one guy like bought a house for his daughter. One guy donated all the money to his favorite charity. And so it's really cool. It's $400 billion. I think they've gone through about 300 million of it right now, and they're estimating that there's between 3 and 6 more months left of the money left in the fund. And there's no indication that the Biden administration is going to put more money into this. So if you're going to do it, you should do it now. And then not only for your business, but also for people that you care about. And you can make some money as an affiliate as well and work with Michael and me. And it's so simple, guys. Yeah, I can do all the work for you. All you got to do is call your friend, say, have you already applied for ERCTREE? Yes or no? Did you have W-2 employees during COVID in 2020? Yes. Then I'll take over. I will get all the documents. You can do a 3-way call, with your friend, client. That's all you need to do. And you're going to make, I have one guy in our company that makes $50,000 a month. And he's one of my best friends. And it's for real. So there's a time clock on this, and we're the real deal. I mean, in fact, one of our employees helped write the CARES Act, which is what this whole thing is. So we know what we're doing. And it's always smart to get multiple quotes, always. And you'll find that if you do it, we will probably be the highest and give you guys their most.
Yeah, it's important to do this because I'm one where it's like the government created an act to help businesses during this down period of time where so many of them could not operate, and gave them tax credits to help them stay alive, because small business is the backbone of our country, has been since the beginning of our country, and will always be. Yes, there's big conglomerates, but they come and go. And even I said this on an interview earlier today, just as an alarming stat, because a lot of people say, it's the big companies and all of that. But in the year 2000, so, just 23 years ago, 52% of the Fortune 500 companies are either gone or were acquired. So over half of the 500 most wealthy businesses on the planet are gone. Yeah. So the big boys go. Small businesses, like the little breakfast shop that's nearby me at my my Toronto location, family-owned business. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. Go there quite a bit. It's one location, one family runs it. I drive by chain restaurants to go there. Why? Because I know it's supporting my community. And, businesses like that need some assistance right now, especially with all things going on with inflation, cost of things, wars, you name it, all these things going on. Any way that you can get, money back from the government without having to pay it back to help you kind of ride through these storms is something that, the legislation was created for. So you need to take it. And that's, why, it was important for me to talk with Bill and partner with him to entice these small businesses to reach out to us. So if you haven't done it, let's get it going, because again, there's no indication. Who knows? An election year is coming up in 2024. Crazy things happen. But there may be an extension. They may add more, but it really depends on where things are. I'm not going to guess one way or the other what the administration is going to do, because in an election year, anything's possible, but there's going to be other things that they're going to want to address as well. So I wouldn't bet on, an extension or more money going into it. But I wouldn't risk it and say, well, I'll just wait and see if they add more. It's like the funds are there now. Grab them while you can. So it's really important for businesses that have not exercised this opportunity to take a look at it.
And if you think that all these businesses have already applied and got money, like with the ERC, with the like a employee retention credit. Excuse me. Only about 30 to 40% of the businesses that would qualify for ERC refunds have applied. So there's another 50-60% of businesses out there that have not got the money that they deserve. So it's not saturated. It is saturated with the pop-up firms that you'll see on TV and Facebook and stuff like that. And it might just be two people in an office and they're doing all the work and they're just accountants and they don't know what they're doing. I mean, we know what we're doing. And I was skeptical, trust me. When I first started, I'm going, this sounds too good to be true. But I've seen it happen. And I've had people hug me and cry and say, you saved my life. And we just had a guy last week. Actually, my buddy out of San Francisco, he closed a staffing company that had 490 employees. Some were part-time. $7.9 million the staffing company got. And he got a lot of money as the commission. So I can't tell you the exact figure, but I can't. 10%, he got $790,000. So I mean that's the kind of money that you can get with this program if you're an affiliate. But if you're a client, you should try to jump on this right away, because we actually have a time counter on our website. If you look on ERCTREE, and it says the approximate time left of when this money is going to run out. And so you're right. The sooner the better. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So what we'll do is we'll have the link in the show notes on where to line up a call with Bill and get things moving on this, because again, time is precious. It always is. But in this particular thing, I want to make sure that everybody listening to this show, and that's a business of the size that we talked about in the U.S., that you can capitalize on getting some tax credits back to help you kind of recover a bit from what transpired during the pandemic. And anything that we can do to help do that is going to make a big difference for you and keep your business alive, which is what we want. We want small businesses to grow and thrive, because it's the backbone of our country, and it's deeply important to Bill and me to make sure that that this happens. So, Bill, always love talking with you. Appreciate you. And I'm really thankful for this. And like I said, we'll get that information in the show notes so people can reach out and contact us and get things moving.
Yeah. I just need your phone number and email and your name, and then we can start from there. And I believe in making things simple. Things don't have to be complicated. And we'd love to help you guys, and maybe some of your friends and some people in your network, and then you can make some side money as well.
There you go. Sounds good, Bill.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for listening to the Breakfast Leadership Show, part of the Breakfast Leadership Network. Visit breakfastleadership.com for tips on empowering your business and your life.